Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I am Angela, this is Clark Fine Art, and today, to kick off the month of December, I wanted to do a fun countdown till Christmas. I designed the little snowman and this guy. This was done on some Canson XL paper, and then I just put it in a picture frame, and with a dry erase marker, you can just come in and erase your days. Do this one-handed. Can you believe it's already 24 days till Christmas? At least if this video gets out on time, it will be 24 days till Christmas when you're watching it. So I hope you enjoy this one. There's the free line art. It's going to be available for you over on my Patreon. You do not have to be a patron to download that line art. You can just go over. The post will have the same thumbnail as this video did, and you can grab that, put it on some paper, or however you want to design yours, canvas, whatever. So many options to choose from, and you can create along with me. I'm going to be using products from my October 2021 Paletteful Packs box. It came with the set of, that was the blue box, and it came with a set of Tombow markers, the water-based markers that were all blues, and I thought that would be perfect for this project. So that's what I'm going to be using today. Let's just dive right in, shall we? Okay, to start, I have my line art transferred to my 8x10 piece of paper. This is the Canson XL watercolor paper. I have tested out my Tombow ABT water-based markers, and I have to say, I think I am going to like these a whole lot more than the alcohol markers I used before. As far as markers go, this might be my jam. I don't know, but I'm liking it so far. I will note, while these are from my Paletteful Pack box from October 2021, these little guys were in my Art Snacks box in, I believe it was April of 21. And I just thought, you know, even though these are the alcohol-based markers, I could use the orange to do his little carrot nose. So that's what I'm going to try when we get to there. I'm only going to use this on his nose. Everything else is just going to be blue, because I thought, you know what, everything is blue, but he's got a carrot nose, so I got to have some orange. Now I will use the Jelly Roll 10, and this one, I'm going to use this for maybe some little highlights and extras at the very end. I'm going to set that aside for now. I do have my blending, my Tombow ABT. This is N00. This is just the brush blender, or excuse me, the dual tip blender. It does have the fine nib and the brush nib. So all of these have the fine nibs and the brush nibs on them. I filled my little spritzer. I did test my Fudenosuke. I did the hard and the soft, and if you see there, the hard gives you a much finer line, and of course the soft gives you a thicker line. So I think I'm going to go with the soft. And then I also I put this down before I swatched out my colors to see, will it run? And if you can see there, you see there's just a slight graying of the paper there, but all in all, that stayed where it needed to be. So I think if I letter this first, and again, if you have a marker that you know will react to water, then just save it till the very end and you can mark it in the end. But to start with, I'm just going to mark out my days till Christmas so that that can be drying while I do some of the other things on my snowman. And I did these letters all freehand. If you are great at hand lettering and you want to make your days till Christmas, you know, fancy, by all means, make it fancy. Why not? And it doesn't have to be days till Christmas. If you like this design and you want to make it for something else, or maybe you don't celebrate Christmas. You could just do the snowman. It doesn't have a count. It doesn't need to have a countdown. Again, we start getting into those curvy lines. I have to concentrate and I forget to talk. And any of these projects that I'm going to be doing pretty much can be adapted. I think Santa's actually in one of them, but all right, my line's getting a little wonky here. All right. Again, more wonkiness. And I just got my picture frame and my dry erase marker from the dollar store. But I bet you could even laminate this if you wanted to, and then you wouldn't have to put it in a picture frame. I just figured with the picture frame, it can hang or stand up. But if you wanted to just laminate it and maybe put it with a magnet on the refrigerator or pin it to a bulletin board in an office. I like the nib on this soft nib. It does flex. It flexes nicely. All right, so we will let that dry. I think I'm also, I think I'm going to do my snowman's eyes with it as well. Yeah, I think so. But I may come in at the very end. I'll come in at the end and do his eyes. I may also do like the shading side of the buttons. I'm not sure yet. Not sure. Or maybe like around the little buttonholes. I don't know. But that needs to dry. Some of these just seem thicker than others. Again, a hand letterer. I am not. My hat goes off to all of you who can do it. I mean, I'm sure, with practice, I would get better at it. It's just not something that I normally do. Just trying to smooth out some of these letters. And the texture of the watercolor paper could also be part of what's hindering me, because you just hit a bump in the tooth of the paper and your line gets a little wonky. I should have set a straight edge to do these. Probably would have helped me. Oh, as I go wonky again. So we have learned, right, that when everything says stop touching it, I just keep going. I definitely just keep going. So I just found that the nib felt a little dry and rotated it. And that seemed to solve that issue. All right, well, it is what it is. I could always come back and go over these again at the end if I wanted them to be thickened up or didn't like it or whatever the case may be. Okay, I'm really leaving it alone this time. Although the H is wonky, but it is what it is. Let's move along. All right. Now, one of the things that I noticed that I liked was I put down the color. Look how smooth the color goes down just from the brush pen onto the watercolor paper. It goes so smooth. And then I took a paintbrush with water and pulled that color, moved it around. I really like that. And then I splashed in some drops of water. So for sure, I love that effect. That's going to give me a nice snowy look. Here, this was just dropping a drop of water on and letting it sit to see what would happen. This here was taking the mister and spritzing this area. Right here, I used the blender marker to pull that corner and see how that would go. So I've tested those different ways. And now there are other ways, like you can mix your stuff on the water, spritz it, color on here, spritz it, and your color, you're going to get this, it's going to bead up and such. And then you can actually press your paper on that to transfer that color onto your project. And Wow, that can give some neat textures. I'm not going to do that in this project, but that could really give some neat textures. And then, oh, this one right here, I did a very gentle spritz. This was just full spray, but here was just a very light mist to see what would happen. And so you can see that there. All right, so I'm going to start. I want the 555. I will be sure to put a link to some more winter holiday themed videos right here. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I had a lot of fun. Until next time, my friends, keep creating. Bye-bye.